Hi everybody, my name is Mady and I'm a sophomore at Bennington. I study Restorative Justice and Book Arts, and today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about what the plan process has looked like for me. So the first class I took in my discipline was Geographies of U.S. Empire. I took this class my very first term at Bennington, and at the time I didn't even know that what I would end up studying was really going to come primarily from this class. Geographies of U.S. Empire was my first academic opportunity to explore the ways in which the U.S. currently exists as an empire and how we maintain deliberate practices of exclusion. This was a class where I first learned about mass incarceration. We watched The 13th, which is a really fantastic documentary by Ava DuVernay about how the allowance of slavery as a punishment for crime in the 13th Amendment manifests itself into the prison industrial complex today. I really recommend this documentary. Really changed my academic path. So even if you're not interested in it, check it out. But from that point on, I became really interested in pursuing less punitive measures for addressing social harm. And ultimately that brought me to restorative justice, which is what I study now. The whole plan committee process was really smooth for me, actually. I joined a plan writing workshop before our plan essays were due, and I got to work with other students, a lot of whom were not from the same discipline as me, which was really kind of nice, actually, because we got a lot of different perspectives, and it made sure that I was able to communicate the work that I do to people who don't study the same thing, which can be difficult sometimes. But everything on plan day for me went fairly smoothly. All three members of my plan committee did recommend I be a little more diligent about timelines and deadlines, but I would like to hope that I've improved on that aspect just a little bit. But the three faculty members were John Holgren, Mirka Prazak, and Torsten Dennerlin. John Holgren is also my advisor, and he's worked pretty extensively in the environmental activism world, and he's done a lot of research on the development of the far right. But on a more personal level, he's really helped me learn more about how to be a good activist, and he's really helped me guide my studies into a broader direction. So he's helped me, going from that point of an interest in incarceration, really expand my studies more broadly to look at inclusion and diversity and lots of really new and exciting things. This term I'm taking class on disability, which is really exciting. And surprisingly enough, engages really well with some of the work that I've already been doing. Mirka is an anthropology professor, and a lot of the way that I shaped my plan was about the goals that I wanted to accomplish by the time I graduate from Bennington. And most of those goals, their foundation, like they'll be able to be accomplished because of the foundation that Mirka has helped lay for me academically. She's an anthropology professor, and she's helped me lay a lot of really good groundwork for a lot of the social studies work that I'd like to pursue in the future. And then Torsten is a brilliant printmaker. He is just so passionate and committed to what he does. He's really inspiring to be around and so helpful. When I first got into printmaking, I was really timid about even just starting projects because I didn't want it to be bad or wrong, and that doesn't really exist in printmaking. And Torsten's helped me see that getting started on a project and then getting into it to perfect all the little things is what's really exciting about the work that we do. So in terms of fieldwork term has really been an excellent opportunity for me to test out what works. So I've worked with two different nonprofit organizations, and I have really learned a lot about the world of organizing, as well as where I can best apply myself in that world. So for the first organization I worked at, I was empowering pro-choice women to run for state and local offices, and I had the amazing opportunity to kickstart a campaign for city council here in San Antonio. And since this fieldwork term, I've been able to reconnect with the woman who we got to run, and it has been so wonderful having conversations with her about what's important to us in San Antonio, the changes we'd like to see, what we're doing well, and she's doing so much great work. So I'm really grateful for that connection I have to someone who cares so much about so many things that I care so much about. For my second fieldwork term, I worked with an organization in San Antonio called Move Texas, where my primary responsibility was voter registration. But I was also able to participate in a campaign for paid sick time for working people in San Antonio, which was really exciting. I was definitely a little uncomfortable in that space because I'd never been in like a courtroom space. But it was really nice to have that exposure and the opportunity to learn about how those types of proceedings go. Um, so yeah, those were really great opportunities for me to explore broadly the world of activism. I think right now I'm ready to delve a little more deeply into incarceration and inclusion related fieldwork terms. So right now I'm exploring the possibility of working with the Texas Civil Rights Project, which is an organization primarily focused on defending civil rights in Texas relating to incarceration, voter rights, and labor. But I'm also exploring the possibility of working with one of the professors of a module that I'm taking, one of the classes that I've just started. And her name is Andrea Galindo, and she is a phenomenal international human rights lawyer. She visited last spring as well, and I wasn't taking her class, but she came and sat in on one of the classes I was taking, and I was so blown away by the work she does and her perspective. And so I'd be really excited to pursue either of those options or whatever else comes my way. So I'm not really sure what's on the horizon, but I'm really excited and I'm really looking forward to how it's going to contribute to how I shape the rest of my studies at Bennington. So thanks.